This play between concave and convex is also developed through Janus imagery, and this is a work that is two-sided. Identified with especially acute powers of perception, given their ability to confront danger from either direction, such double-sided works also embrace the polarities of life and death, sun and earth, as well as male and female. According to such interpretations, the concave side on the left is female, while the convex one on the right is male. The works and eternal ancestors were intended to be the focus of intense visual contemplation, and there is much that may be gleaned from their careful scrutiny. Ultimately, however, it is essential to realize that they were not merely static artifacts. It is important to note that even the plinths, designed as an integral element of Fang's sculptural representations so that they might be affixed to reliquary vessels, also served as handles used to brandish them in animated theatrical performances when they were removed on a frequent basis from the vessels. These entertainments reenacted various aspects of knowledge imparted by elders over the course of initiation into rites of ancestral veneration. And on the left is an image of such a rite documented by the German ethnographer Günther Tessmann in 1918. All of the related works in this exhibition were likewise the visual highlights of rites central to the devotional life of the region's populace and its political religious institutions. Chief among these was Bwiti, that honored founding ancestors and spirits of the land. Our access to these traditions has been severely constrained in light of the fact that conversion to Christianity beginning in the early 20th century radically altered such traditions and in many instances led to their abandonment. A further limitation is the fact that rarely were the rites themselves recorded with any degree of serious thoroughness. Sogo practices of Bwiti rites appear to have best preserved key aspects of these continually changing traditions. In Eternal Ancestors, we sought to position such complex practices informed by music, dance, and prayer at the installation's physical center in a space that focuses on ritual performance. Its vital heartbeat is projected through film footage of Sogo Bwiti initiation, documented by the late French ethnomusicologist Pierre Salé in 1969. The music intoned and lyrics sung that reverberate throughout the space draw upon creation as the primary metaphor for the journey of initiates into a state that carries them beyond death and affords them access to the ancestral realm. Finally, in Kwele communities, the leaders of its constituent familial groupings of fathers and sons deployed their collective ancestral relics in bete rites to avert crises ranging from epidemics to famine. The sacra of the most accomplished members of each of these familial groupings was conceived to radiate power and preserved within unadorned basketry receptacles. Stored in physical proximity to ceremonial masks, such as the ones in the performance space, that are identified with natural forces, their presence fortified these artifacts. During Bete, all of a community's most venerated ancestors were invoked collectively to unify their descendants' sense of well-being. Bete culminated in consumption of a ritually fortifying meal whose presence was animated by the spectacle of a sequence of masquerade performances. Striking for their shared silhouette-like quality, these works drew inspiration from familiar forces of nature and transformed them into apparitions that elicited the collective wonder of the community. Among the visual highlights of that performance arena is a breathtaking array of the spectrum of these designs created by Kwele sculptors to depict things of the forest. Like the shared privileging of revered ancestors as the ideal intermediaries with the divine, equatorial forms of representation that celebrate those points of intercession reflect an overarching aesthetic. Scattered across the globe in so many different collections, until now they have been seen only as footnotes to the history of modernism or circumscribed as the products of individual ethnic groups. The full impact of that visual sensibility and vision has only now been revealed. The gifted authors of these works developed a range of parallel strategies for amplifying the presence and impact of the sacred matter that was the point of departure for their creativity. It is apparent that within each of these traditions, individual artists continually refined and expanded upon the possibilities of their particular idiom. Clearly, even denuded of their sacra, rites, songs, and prayers, such is the eloquence of these exceptional works, that they have transcended that context and continue to profoundly connect with viewers irrespective of their own points of reference. Eternal Ancestors insists on the recognition of an astonishing artistic movement that arose in Africa as among the most compelling chapters in the history of art. We celebrate the position of distinction these works occupied in the lives of the peoples of an equatorial heritage that in some ways reflects profound commonalities with that of other great world traditions. Their enduring role as muses to modern and contemporary masters here in New York City, and their sheer ingenuity and virtuosity by any measure of artistic excellence. Thank you.